And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to takesbyfans.com/watch. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. All right, today's a big old Monday, folks. Week 10 in the NFL has pretty much wrapped up. We still got Monday's game tonight, Rams at 49ers, and we'll see how that one goes down tonight. Talk about it and break it down all tomorrow. But we got to break down all the matchups from yesterday's Sunday slate of action. The Bills won, folks. So everybody, that was, hyperventilating on the Bills last week. Everybody just relaxed. They're fine. The Chiefs won. Once again, everybody hyperventilating on the Chiefs the last couple of weeks here. They're fine. Teams go through rough patches. Some teams lose some games. It's unfortunate, but they're back at, doing what they do pretty gosh dang good. With the Bills, it's their defense, and with the Chiefs, it's their offense, and that's exactly what we saw last night. So we'll break down all the other matchups as well. And we got to do our NBA Daily 10, but we got to stick to 10 minutes because we go long breaking down every single NFL game and the players and how they're scoring and when they're scoring. Was it a good win? Was it a good loss? What was it? So we really got to stick to the 10 minutes here in our NBA Daily 10. So we've got 10 minutes on the clock. Let's start the show here. Next 10 minutes, uninterrupted basketball talk. Here we go. Clock starts now. Alrighty. Yesterday in the NBA, do we even care? NFL was on. Do we care? Yeah, we still care a little bit. So let's start here with the first game up. Spurs at Lakers, and the Lakers get the big old win here, 114-106. Over the Spurs team. And there was a period at the beginning of the season where we were kind of seeing the Spurs potentially being a kind of dark horse team, but that's no longer the case. They're not beating any teams here. This is a chance in the time to beat the Lakers, since obviously no LeBron, but the Spurs still can't beat this team. So who did good for the Spurs last night? Keldon Johnson led the team in scoring, 24 points. Some lackluster performances with their starting lineup. Drew Eubanks, 2 points, 5 rebounds at the 5, and Doug McDermott, 8 points and 2 rebounds at the 4. But they got some solid bench contribution from Thaddeus Young, who we always know is playing absolutely very well this last year and kind of so far, the early kind of games so far this season. 17 points, 9 rebounds for Thaddeus Young off the bench, and then Devin Vassell, 19 points and 7 rebounds off the bench. Unfortunately, just come up a little bit short. And why did the Lakers get the win? Because of Anthony Davis, 34 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, getting it done. Russell Westbrook, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. He had 7 turnovers as well, but they're facing the Spurs, so he was still a plus 11 on the floor. Carmelo Anthony finds himself in the starting lineup in this game, and did he do good? He did all right. 15 points on very efficient shooting, 2 of 3 from the 3, and 71% on 7 shots from the field. He had 5 rebounds as well. Avery Bradley at the 2, 0 points in 22 minutes on 3 shots, and Talen Horton-Tucker at the 3, 17 points, 4 rebounds. Off the bench, Malik Monk, 16 points on 60% shooting. Thank you. Malik Monk getting it done here. We need him to be such a huge piece for this Lakers team if they have any chance at winning a championship this season. And he had a great game last night, and we'll see if he can keep it up. But the Lakers get the win, 114-106. Alrighty then, Bucks at Hawks, and the Hawks beat the Bucks here, but once again, this Bucks team is still missing a lot of pieces, so let's not kind of go overboard that this Bucks team is not great out of the get-go. No Chris Middleton, no Brook Lopez, so, they're gonna lose, and now you have to bring your bench to the starting lineup, so your bench is lackluster. I mean, their leading bench score was Jordan Nora, 6 points and 3 rebounds off the bench. I mean, you bring Bobby Portis into the lineup, you bring Pat Connaughton into the starting lineup, and now your bench shrinks, and that's exactly what's happening with this Bucks team. So yes, they're losing, which is obviously not the greatest, but they're not 100% healthy, so no big reasons to really freak out. Also, they really never got to the line. They got to the line 16 times this game, and 12 of those 16 times were Giannis. I mean, that's another huge reason why they were losing this game, could not get to the free throw line. But Giannis, 26 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Grayson Allen, 18 points on 4 of 7 from 3. Once again, another reason not to freak out on this Bucks team. Grayson Allen is getting it done. So once they're all healthy and Grayson Allen just has to be the 5th scoring option out here and kind of the three-pointer, just kind of a nice 3-point presence for this Bucks team, they'll once again be fine. They'll be fine, folks. No big worries here for this Bucks team. And then for the Hawks, getting the win here. Big win for them. They've been struggling this season as well. Trae Young, 42 points. Holy moly, 42 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds, 61% on 26 shots, and 8 of 13 from the 3. What a night by Trae Young. Bogdan Bogdanovic, 6 points on 28% shooting. Once again, still a little lackluster. Clint Capella, 12 points, 13 rebounds. John Collins, 19 points, 6 rebounds. And Kevin Huerter, 11 points and 6 rebounds. So they got it done with Trae Young. He's usually the one that's kind of putting up the big points on a nightly basis here to kind of bring this team close to winning games and being competitive. And last night it paid off. Hawks get the win. All right, then we get the Warriors at the Hornets, and the Warriors lost their second game of the season to the Hornets. Woof, not the best loss here with this Warriors team, but we know they're still fine. Steph Curry, 24 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds. He only shot 3 of 13 from 3. Kind of a little bit of a reason why they lost, but he was still a plus 14 on the floor. That's what Steph Curry does. Jordan Poole, 13 points, 3 assists. A little lackluster game by him as well. Only 33% shooting from the field. Andrew Wiggins moves to the 4, and they move Draymond Green to the 3, and Andrew Wiggins, 28 points, 6 rebounds, always reliable, led the team in scoring. Steph Curry was a little off scoring wise, so Andrew Wiggins took it upon himself to get it done like we know he does really all the time out here. And then Draymond Green, 11 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds. So the starters all had it going. Not the best bench production coming off the bench, and they lose a close one to this Hornets team. LaMelo Ball, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. What a night by him. Terry Rozier, 20 points. Miles Bridges, 22 points, 8 rebounds. Off the bench, Kelly Oubre Jr., 10 points, 4 rebounds. We'll take that all day. Cody Martin, 12 points, 8 rebounds. We'll take that all day. And Gordon Hayward, back in the still in the starting lineup, 10 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. So Hornets win by 4 here, 106-102, but the Warriors are still the best team in the league, folks. Do not worry. All right, then we get the Suns at the Rockets, and Rockets are trash. Suns blow them out, 115-89. Daniel Tice still in the starting lineup, so expect them to lose every single game still. Anybody do good out here? Christian Wood led the team in scoring, 17 points, 8 rebounds. Very well done by him. He's their only bright spot on this team. Kevin Porter Jr., 12 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. Solid performance by him as well. Just unfortunate, Daniel Tice being there. Daniel Tice ruins this team. I don't know why anybody has Daniel Tice in their starting lineup. We get him out of there. Get him out of the league. I don't like to say that about any NBA player, but Daniel Tice needs to be taken out the league. That man is just not good. I don't know what to tell y'all. All right, and then for the Suns, Chris Paul, 15 points, 7 steals, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Devin Booker led the team in scoring, 26 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Once again, still winning without DeAndre Ayton, so JaVale McGee still at the 5, 19 points, 14 rebounds. Jay Crowder, 5 points on 7 shots, and then McCall Bridges, 14 points and 6 rebounds. Off the bench, Frank Kaminsky, 6 points, 6 rebounds on 16% shooting. Definitely could be a little bit better, but he's still getting some nice minutes out here, 23 minutes off the bench, and we absolutely love it. Cameron Payne, 13 points, 4 assists. Cameron Johnson, 10 points, 6 rebounds. That's the production we need from the Cameron brothers out there, and the Suns are able to once again get another win out here. What's their record now? What do we got for the Suns? 9-3. Look at that. Look at that. Did they go 0-3 and ripped off 9 straight here, folks? Is that what we're looking at here? Let me see. Because I know they started off really bad, and I think they've won like 8 or 9 straight games. What do we got here for the Suns? They are on an 8-game winning streak, folks. They started 1-2, folks. 1-3. They started 1-3, folks. 8-game winning streak. Absolutely fantastic for the Suns team. Just needed a couple games to get back to what they were last year, obviously making the finals, and now they are back and arriving and are doing it without their starting center. So do they need DeAndre Ayton? Will they trade DeAndre Ayton at the trade deadline? I don't think so, but anything's possible, I would say. All right, next game up here, Nets at the Thunder. The Nets absolutely blow out the Thunder. The Thunder are not a good team. It's 120-96 win for this Nets team, and it's all because Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's so gosh dang efficient this season. It's almost unbelievable. I don't think you would know how great Kevin Durant is unless you just look at the sheer numbers that this man is shooting, and then you just be like, no, that's got to be a lie. You're lying if you're telling me these numbers. But that's exactly what he's doing out here, folks. 33 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds on 52% shooting. Again, just so gosh dang efficient. We've seen him shooting 90% on like 10 plus shots. We've seen him shooting 80% on like 15 plus shots. We've seen him shoot 70% on like 15, 17, 18 plus shots. I mean, this man is absolutely the most pure shooter in the game right now, Kevin Durant, folks. James Harden, 16 points, 13 assists, 6 rebounds. Those two were the main reasons why they got the win. Great contributions from Patty Mills off the bench, 29 points, and LaMarcus Aldridge, 15 points, 8 rebounds. So, once again, the bench players coming up big for this Nets team. And we'll see if Patty Mills, this is the first real great performance by Patty Mills, and we'll see if he can keep this going here to be a great necessary bench piece for this Nets team. And then for the Thunder, Luguentz Dort still having a pretty good game out here. 20 points, 3 rebounds, shot 72%. And then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 23 points, 6 rebounds. Nobody else really put up more than double-digit points out there besides Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Luguentz Dort. Unfortunately, they had to go and face Kevin Durant. That's always going to result in a loss. Then we get the Blazers at the Nuggets. Nuggets blow out the Blazers, 124-95. Once again, the Blazers are past their peak. They are done. They are done. I know, no Damian Lillard last night, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. We've seen Damian Lillard in, we've seen Damian Lillard out, and it always results into a loss out here. So they move Anthony Simons to the 1, 16 points, 4 assists, and CJ McCollum, 21 points, led the team in scoring. And then for this Nuggets team, still winning it without Michael Porter Jr., and they have to thank their bench for really the reason why they won. We had Jokic, 28 points. That's our 10 minutes, so we got to go quickly here to finish up this last game here. But Jokic, 28 points, 9 assists, 9 rebounds. He always gets it done. Aaron Gordon, 11 points, 3 rebounds. We had Monte Morris, 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. But look at this bench, folks. PJ Dozier, 12 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. JaMychal Green, 12 points. Bones Highland, 18 points. Facundo Campazzo, 13 points, 4 assists. And let's shout out Zeke Naji, 8 points and 10 rebounds. So what a great bench performance for this Nuggets team. And they're really going to need their bench to truly get it done if they want to kind of make up for the lackluster, or if they want to make up for the scoring production that Michael Porter Jr. gives them on a nightly basis now that he is out. So Nuggets beat the Blazers. And then the last game of the night, Bulls at Clippers, the one that we were so excited to watch. And the Bulls get the win here, 190, a great game all around. And this Clippers team hung with them throughout. So once again, this Clippers team is the real deal, folks. No question, no concerns, no debate. Clippers are for real. But the Bulls last night, Zach LaVine, 29 points, 8 rebounds. DeMar DeRozan, 35 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Fantastic. No Vucevic down low for them. So Lonzo Ball took 14 shots, only 10 points. Didn't score at the good pace that Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan scored. But he took 14 shots, 28% shooting, 10 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. And they were able to pull their way for the win. And then, unfortunately, for this Clippers team, Paul George, 27 points, 11 rebounds. He tried his damnedest. Reggie Jackson, a little lackluster scoring last night, 13 points, but on 23% shooting, 3 of 11 from 3. And we've seen Reggie Jackson be on a tear these last couple of games here. This is why the Clippers have really kind of increased their record, because Reggie Jackson's great contribution. Eric Bledsoe had a great night, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He shot 50% on 14 shots, and just unfortunately everything else was a little bit lackluster overall. So Clippers, they hung with them. Paul George tried his damnedest. Unfortunately, they lose by 10, 190. Alrighty, that is all the NBA that we needed to talk about for today. So let's head over and start talking about the NFL. And we have to switch windows here because I don't know what the hell is going on with NFL.com. Their website is absolutely garbage, folks. We've been using the website no problem for the last year and a half, breaking down all these games. But now we have to go to an incognito window. I mean, I don't know what it was. We had ad block on our regular window, and I thought that was a problem. I took it off and it was working, but then I go to refresh and it's back to being garbage. So I don't know what the heck is going on, but now we have to be switching tabs throughout the show and all that. I don't like to be doing that. I want one tab. I got it all open, or one window, got it all open, but they're forcing me to open up multiple windows with different browsers and all that just to break down these games. It's killing me out here, but we'll always find a way, folks. We will always find a way. So here we go. Let's start breaking down the entirety of what we just saw yesterday in the NFL so we could start trying to figure out week 11 when the time comes. So first matchup up here, Bills at the Jets, and the Bills are fine, folks. The Bills, do you dare say back? They are fine, folks. They had a little bit of a lackluster offensive performance last week. Once again, the defensive performance was still great last week against the Jaguars, held them to 9 points, and 3 of the points came off of a Josh Allen turnover that gave them a short field. So the Bills are fine. They win 45-17, and now we have actual proof that Mike White is not good, and Mike White is not as good as he was coming out here. And this is kind of what we're seeing in the NFL. The backup quarterbacks that play one game, they look really great, but then once they have to go and kind of do it again and replicate it, they fall off big time. Mike White in this game, real bad. We just saw Colt McCoy this week, real bad. So these backup quarterbacks, yes, they may have one good big game, and that kind of gets the win, and a win that they probably shouldn't have won, all of that. But overall, backup quarterbacks, they're backups for a reason. It's not sustainable. It's not good. It's not even competitive. You can't compete with these guys. I mean, just Colt McCoy last night, truly, truly unfortunate. So, back to this Bills-Jets game. They are fine. The Bills are fine, folks. Let's start here with this Bills team. I mean, they were kind of good right from the get-go, scoring a touchdown on their first drive. Then the defense gets an interception, and it's 10-0. Once again, just instantly erasing all the negativity that kind of Western New York and the entire Bills Mafia was kind of spewing all of last week when they lost against the Jags. But, they get another touchdown in the second quarter, making it 17-3. They score out of the halftime 24-3. They score again 31-3. They score again 38-3. And this is what we've seen by the Bills. A little struggle offensively, a tad little bit of a struggle offensively in the first half, but then after halftime they score. So, looking for green flags and silver linings, this Bills team has the great ability to make kind of halftime adjustments for their offense to get it clicked and figured out. I understand they didn't do that last week against the Jaguars. Folks, it's a long season. Not everything is great and goes exactly how it's supposed to go every single week. There are some hiccups. The Bills had a little bit of a hiccup. It's fine. It's an outlier game. We really shouldn't pay that much attention to what the Bills did last week against the Jaguars. So the Bills win 45-17, the defense being absolutely fantastic. Josh Allen goes 21 of 28 for 366 yards, slinging around the ball. Fantastic. 21 of 28. What do we got? Completion percentage-wise, 75%. Oof, baby, that's fantastic. 366 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Let's see where this interception came. It came in the third quarter when they were already up 38-3, and unfortunately it gives up a touchdown because the Jets get the ball at the Bills' 35-yard line. We also had a fumble here by a Bills player who fumbled. Matt Breida, no, the running back ends up fumbling to start the fourth quarter, and the Bills defense locks it down 4th and 17 from their own 43-yard line, and they make them go turnover on downs. And what do the Bills do after going turnover on downs on the defensive side of the ball? They go down and hit Stephon Diggs a couple of times and score another touchdown right to make it 45-10. get one more score up on that board. So, and that's another huge reason why this Bills team won. They went to their main weapons, utilized Stephon Diggs, get him in that kind of one-on-one matchup. We know Josh Allen can deliver the ball, and we know that Stephon Diggs can get open, and that's exactly what they did. But before we get to the receiving numbers, let's start with these rushing numbers. Devin Singletary, 7 carries for 43 yards and a touchdown. Matt Breida, 3 carries, 28 yards, a touchdown. He did fumble as well. Zach Moss, 7 carries for 27 yards and a touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders ran the ball 1 time for 24 yards. Isaiah McKenzie ran the ball 2 times for 17 yards and a touchdown. And once again, just utilizing all the great talented pieces and speed that you have on this Bills team, getting the ball to Isaiah McKenzie in kind of an end around kind of play, and it goes 17 yards. You get a score out of it, utilizing it in the red zone. I mean, just utilize your players. Isaiah McKenzie, Cole Beasley, they're short, they're speedy, they're kind of gadget-esque type of players. Use them in different situations, and we kind of started to see that a little bit last night for the Bills. So that's exactly what we wanted to see. We wanted to see really Josh Allen run the ball a little bit more and some read options and some screen plays, but overall utilizing kind of the misdirection opens up the running game here, because they were running the ball pretty solid here. Running back by committee, about 100 yards. That's what we need to see from this Bills team. So great running attack, well balanced. Josh Allen not throwing the ball 40 times a game, 28 times. I would say 28 to kind of 33. That's exactly what really Josh Allen's perfect window is. And we saw it last night, and it goes for 45 points. Give the man some credit. And then who was he throwing to? Stephon Diggs led the team in receiving, 8 catches for 162 yards. Great. Utilize your pieces out here. And Stephon Diggs, they were getting the ball here. What was it? One of these drives here, I want to say in the second quarter, we're all kind of to Stephon Diggs. The first drive out of halftime, 25-yard pass to Stephon Diggs, and that kind of puts gets a nice drive starter. That's the first play. They start at their own 25-yard line coming out of halftime. That 23-yard pass brings them basically to midfield, and they're able to capitalize and cap off it with a touchdown. What else do we got here? We got another kind of big drive that starts with a Stephon Diggs play out here. Gabriel Davis had a really nice game as well. We're going to talk about him in a second. So here we go. So obviously Stephon Diggs, 162 yards. Gabriel Davis, 3 catches for 105 yards. Some big plays out there. Emmanuel Sanders, 2 catches, 27 yards. Matt Breida, 3 catches, 22 yards, a touchdown. They bring Dawson Knox back, their tight end, back this game. Only 1 reception for 17 yards. They didn't even need to utilize them in the red zone. So another huge promising green flag as well. Cole Beasley, 2 catches for 15 yards, and then Isaiah McKenzie, 1 catch for 12 yards. So the Bills offense, it was moving the ball. The Bills defense was taking it away. As we shift over to the stats of the Jets here, Mike White, 24 of 44 for 251 yards. No touchdowns, but 4 interceptions. Yikes. And Mike White was bragging. There was a quote that came out, I think, this week, where Mike White was like, I should have been a first-round pick. You sure about that, my guy? I don't know about that anymore. 4 interceptions at home. Yikes. I know the Bills have a good defense and all that, but sheesh. So he goes 24 of 44. Here we go. That's a 54% completion percentage. That's not first round numbers. What are you talking about, Mike White? You crazy out here. Joe Flacco got in the game. 3 passes for 3 completions. 100% passing completion percentage here by Joe Flacco for 47 yards and a touchdown. Mike White couldn't even throw a touchdown. Joe Flacco comes in, throws a touchdown. Come on, Mike. Come on. All right, rushing the ball here for the Jets. Michael Carter, 16 carries for only 39 yards, 1 touchdown. Tevin Coleman touts the rock 4 times for 29 yards. So running game was kind of non-existent for the Jets last night. Passing game was abysmal, throwing all these interceptions. Let's see what the Bills did on these interceptions. First interception came in the first quarter. They scored 3 points out of it. Second interception, and we have a fumble. Fumble that results in a nothing because there's only 22 seconds left in the first half, so kind of got bailed out with that. Second interception comes out the first drive of the second half. They go down and score a touchdown. Third interception, comes on the very next last drive of the third quarter, and that results into a touchdown for the Bills. Third interception comes on the third drive of the third quarter, so back-to-back interceptions for Mike White. When the game, not really that competitive or close, 24-3 is really when the interception started to open up here for the Jets. And then on that last interception, Josh Allen throws an interception, which leads to a touchdown for the Jets, making it 38-10, but the game's over at that point anyway. So Mike White, not a great night. And then who was Mike White throwing to? Well, he got Corey Davis involved, so I guess we'll applaud him for that. 5 catches for Corey Davis, led the team in receiving yards, 93 yards. Elijah Moore, 3 catches for 44 yards and a touchdown. Michael Carter, 4 catches for 43 yards. Ty Johnson, 5 catches for 36 yards. Ryan Griffin, 1 catch, 21 yards. James Crowder, 3 catches, 20 yards. Braxton Berrios, 3 catches, 19 yards. And then Keelan Cole, 1 catch for 18 yards. So getting Corey Davis and Elijah Moore the ball, that's kind of the best thing Mike White did all game. Unfortunately, it didn't result into anything competitive. So Bills get back on track here, winning 45-17 over the Jets, and I'm sure Zach Wilson is back at the starting quarterback position for this Jets team when he's good to go. Alrighty, next game up here is the Bucs at the Washington football team, and the Washington football team gets the win. Taylor Heineke has faced Tom Brady twice, lost one close, won one. Hey, we need a tiebreaker here. I need to see the Bucs in Washington in the playoffs and see how it goes on the tiebreaker third game out here. I'll give Taylor Heineke some credit for winning this game, but also Washington's defense forcing a couple of turnovers on Tom Brady, and I believe they made him pay for it. So let's start here with Tom Brady and the Bucs since they started to turn the ball over here. Tom Brady goes 23 of 34, and this was a Bucs team coming off of a bye. So Tom Brady throwing all these picks. Why does Tom Brady feel so comfortable throwing all these picks? Well, because the teams that he throws the picks against don't make him pay for those turnovers. Remember last year in the NFC Championship game, 3 interceptions against the Packers, and the Packers, Aaron Rodgers only takes advantage of 1 and puts up 7 points off of 3 turnovers. That you can't be doing that. You must make them pay. If any team has like 3 turnovers, they should instantly lose the game just because you've scored the ball 3 times off of those 3 turnovers. I mean, that's just simple math at that point. And then once again, the game against the Saints, 3 turnovers by Tom Brady, but he still had the ball. He still had the ball in his hands on the very last drive that resulted into a turnover, unfortunately. So you've got to make Tom Brady pay for every single turnover, and the Washington football team did that. So let's start here with this Bucs and Tom Brady. Tom Brady goes 23 of 34, 67% completion percentage, 220 yards on 23 completions. 2 touchdowns and the 2 picks. He didn't fumble, which is great, so still only 2 picks like he had against the Saints. But first interception comes on their second drive of the game. It goes down and they kick a field goal. And then the second interception comes on the very next drive. So back-to-back interceptions by Tom Brady. And Washington goes down and scores a touchdown. So 10 points off of 2 turnovers here by Washington. They win by 10 points. Coincidence? Coincidence? No, that's causation right there, folks. Tom Brady's getting a little too lackadaisical with all these interceptions. Now, he can clean it up. We've seen Tom Brady clean up these interceptions. So, I don't think there's any big reason to get big off of this Tampa Bay Bucs team. They will be fine for the most part. Once again, no AB, no Rob Gronkowski. We know they don't need those weapons, but definitely having those weapons, anybody will take an excess of weapons, folks. No debate on that. So Tom Brady with a couple of turnovers in the first quarter. Not great. And well done for Washington to go down and score on those turnovers. All right, running game here for the Bucs. Leonard Fournette. I don't know why I had trouble saying that name right there. Leonard Fournette. 11 rushes for 47 yards. That was really it. That's all they really ran the ball with. Giovanni Bernard had 1 rush. Tom Brady had 1 rush. So the huge discrepancy between the pass and the run game. And even with those 2 interceptions, you were only down 13-0. So it's not like you had to abandon the run game. Keep that running game going. They just didn't. So unfortunate there by this Bucs team, relying it all on Tom Brady. All right, and then who was Tom Brady throwing to? Mike Evans, leading receiver, 2 catches for 62 yards and a touchdown. Chris Godwin, 7 catches for 57 yards. Leonard Fournette, 8 catches for 45 yards. Jaylon Darden, 1 catch, 29 yards. And Tyler Johnson, 3 catches for 17 yards. Only using Cameron Brate, 1 catch, 6 yards for a touchdown. And that was it for this Bucs team. And unfortunately, they just didn't get the ball back. They score a touchdown with how much time left? 11 minutes left. They score a touchdown with 11 minutes left, making it 19-23. So Bucs down 4 points. And what does Washington do? They go on a 10-minute, 26-second drive to eat up the entire clock and score a touchdown to make it a 10-point game to give Tom Brady absolutely no time and no chance to win this game. Washington played this game to an absolute T, forced a couple of turnovers, cashed in points in all those turnovers, and then didn't give the ball back to Brady, because that's exactly what happens when Brady has the ball last in his hands, even going against that Saints team. Yes, he threw an interception, but overall he still had a chance to win that game. Washington was like, you're not even getting that chance to potentially win the game. So Tom Brady, unfortunate, didn't have the ball in his hands at last, and well done. Let's read this last drive here for Washington, how they picked it up and how they were able to chew off 10 minutes. So here we go, 2-yard run, 6-yard run. They go 3rd and 2, and they have a 3-yard run with Taylor Heinicke utilizing his legs to pick it up. Gamer Taylor Heinicke, finally. Did we finally get the gamer Taylor Heinicke last night? Did all it take was a revenge game against the playoff team that they lost against last season? I think it was. So they pick up the first down. Then we had a 16-yard pass by Taylor Heinicke, a 4-yard run, a 7-yard run, a 3-yard run, a 6-yard run that sets up 3rd and 1, but they go and run the ball, pick it up 2 yards. Then they go 4-yard run, 2-yard run, 3rd and 4, Taylor Heinicke, baby, 5-yard pass to pick up the first down, keep the clock moving. -1-yard run, 6-yard pass sets up 3rd and 5, and Taylor Heinicke, 6-yard pass to pick up the first down, keep the clock moving. 5-yard run for no gain, 3rd and goal, 3-yard run, it makes it 4th and goal, and they go for it on 4th and goal because there's only 31 seconds left. Why not? And they end up scoring a touchdown to truly ice the game. So magnificent work here by this Washington team. They get it done and they win 29-19. Now let's talk about this Washington football team stats and who got it done. Taylor Heinicke goes 26 of 32. Ooh, that's a great completion percentage. We got 81% on 256 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and he didn't fumble. Dax Milne fumbled once and lost it. What did the Bucs do with that fumble? They scored 7 points out of it. So truly an untimely fumble there, but not by Taylor Heinicke. Taylor Heinicke put the ball in his hands, 3rd down multiple times, and got it done on that very last drive. Well done. And Antonio Gibson, 24 rushes for 64 yards, 2 touchdowns, picking up some 3rd downs on that crucial game-winning drive as well. Taylor Heinicke scrambled 3 times for 15 yards. And then who was Taylor Heinicke throwing to this game? We had Terry McLaurin, leading receiver, 6 catches, 59 yards. DeAndre Carter, 3 catches, 56 yards, a touchdown. J.D. McKissick, 4 catches, 35 yards. Ricky Seals-Jones, 3 catches, 30 yards. John Bates, 3 catches, 25 yards. Dax Milne, 2 catches, 22 yards. Antonio Gibson, 2 catches, 14 yards. Cam Sims, 2 catches, 10 yards. So spreading the ball around to everybody, utilizing his kind of number 1, A1, tier 1 wide receiver, and Terry McLaurin, leading receiver, all of that, and they come away with a big old win there. Big shout out to Washington winning 29-19. And then after the game, Bruce Arians says, we're a very dumb football team. Ooh, that's not great calling your team dumb. What does he mean about this? After the loss, Coach Bruce Arians ripped his team, said, quote, "It has nothing to do with ability. It's about execution and being a smart football team. We're a very dumb football team." And that's a reflection on the coaches. Ooh, coaches taking all the kind of blame here, so Tom Brady doesn't have to. Okay. And then another quote here by Arians, quote, "Energy and passion are very fixable. The penalties, they've got to get corrected sooner or later. The first play of the game, they're shifting and we jump off sides. They don't even run a play and we jump off sides. The stupidity has to go away if we're gonna go anywhere." So we'll see if this kind of coaching style, calling all of his players dumb, moronic idiots, we'll see if that kind of puts a pep in their step come next week. But well done for Washington getting the win here. And now the series is tied. Taylor Heineke versus Tom Brady, 1-1. 1-1, folks. We'll see if we get a game-breaking Game 3. Alrighty, next game up here is Atlanta at the Cowboys, folks. And the Cowboys absolutely blow them out. Absolutely utter destruction right here by this Cowboys team that we knew. We didn't fall big off this Cowboys team. We moved them from number 1 in our power rankings to only number 2 in our power rankings, folks. It was not that big of a drop, and I think they're going back to number 1 this week, given what the Cardinals did this week. But let's focus on this Cowboys team first. They absolutely dominate the Falcons right from the get-go. Touchdown on their first drive, making it 7-0. Did they go for it on 4th down on this drive? They went for it on 4th down a couple of times this game, but not on the first drive. 3rd and 6 on the Atlanta's 13-yard line, and that's how they're able to score the touchdown. But then they score another touchdown, making it 14-3. Atlanta goes for it. They were kind of the main aggressors. 4th and 7 at Dallas's 32-yard line when you could have made the game 6-7 at that point. Once again, stop going for it on 4th downs all the time. These coaches are still wild here this season, or this week, folks, going for it on 4th down tons of times. But the Cowboys, they go down, make it 14-3. They make it 21-3. They make it 28-3, and that's just halftime. A block punt that goes for 7, 36-3. Now it's halftime. And then all the turnovers start here by Atlanta. First drive, they go 5 plays, 8 yards. They have to punt. Second drive out of halftime, interception. Third drive out of halftime, interception. Fourth drive out of halftime, interception. And by that time, the game is 43-3, and the game is obviously over at that point, when it was really over before halftime. Before halftime. So this Cowboys team got it done offensively, defensively. Dan Quinn's revenge game, truly that to a mother-loving T, because this Cowboys defense smothered the Atlanta's offense. What did the Atlanta team do just in general? Total yards, only 214 compared to Dallas's 431. Atlanta had 111 passing yards. Okay, is that ever going to get it done? Have we ever kind of read a quarterback that threw for 100 yards and got a big old win? No, we haven't. They rushed for 103 yards. Their yards per play were 4. That's not terrible. That's not the worst. It's not great. But overall, just an absolute garbage performance by this Falcons team offensively. So many interceptions, so many great defensive performance here by the Cowboys that we know that's what they do. The ball hawks were back by this Cowboys team, and we'll show y'all in a second. But let's start here with the Cowboys offense and how good it was. Dak Prescott goes 24 of 31. Yes, sir, 24 of 31. We get 77% completion percentage. Wasn't missing the wide open throws like he did last week coming off the injury. So once again, we were still calm, cool, collected on this Cowboys team coming into this game. We actually changed our pick yesterday in our pregame show live because we knew that Big Ben was out. We had Steelers -8. There was no way we were keeping that with Mason Rudolph. Good advice by us. And we replaced it with Cowboys -7.5, and they win by 40. So I think we made the right decision there. So Dak Prescott, a great night, 77% completion percentage, 296 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Zeke fumbled once and lost it. Truly unfortunate there. The fumble came in the third quarter off of an interception, and like we know, the game was already over at 36-3 anyway. So little unfortunate turnover there by Ezekiel Elliott. But overall, Dak had a great game. The running back by committee, once again, great here by the Cowboys. Tony Pollard led the team in rushing yards by 11 carries for 42 yards, and Ezekiel Elliott, 14 carries for 41 yards and 2 touchdowns. Great night by both the great running backs that this Cowboys team has. They used Corey Clement 6 times in the rushing game for 20 yards as well. That's how great it was going. And who was Dak throwing the ball to? CeeDee Lamb, 6 catches for 94 yards and 2 touchdowns. Exactly what he should have had last week. Dak made it up to him this week. Fantastic. Tony Pollard, 6 catches, 56 yards. Amari Cooper, 4 catches, 41 yards. Michael Gallup, 3 catches, 42 yards. And Noah Brown, 1 catch, 18 yards. Ezekiel Elliott, 3 catches, 15 yards. Sean McKeon, 2 catches, 15 yards. And Dalton Schultz, their tight end, only 1 catch, 14 yards. Didn't even need the tight end in this game. How crazy. We've seen Dalton Schultz be kind of top maybe 3 leading receivers over the last kind of 3 games here. This time, Cowboys don't even need them. They say, tight ends, yeah, we appreciate you. We don't need you this game, though. So everything was going absolutely great from start to finish with this Cowboys team. And once again, Atlanta, just coming off of a good win last week, back down in the gutter. Never, ever, ever bet the Falcons. Ever, never. The only way that we can ever green light betting the Falcons if they lose like 3 games in a row, because then we know a great performance is probably coming. But other than that, you gotta stay away from ever betting the Falcons. We've learned our lesson last season, and we had it reminded to us this year as well a couple of times. All right, now let's talk about this Falcons team. What did they do? Matt Ryan do anything good? Of course not. He went 9 of 21. Sheesh, that's atrocious. 9 of 21, 42% completion percentage, 117 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The interceptions all coming in the second half, in the third quarter. Only 2 interceptions, and then Josh Rosen, he got in the game and threw an interception. So it's not the quarterback here. I don't know what it is about this Falcons team. It's obviously not Dan Quinn, their head coach. They're still doing garbage with Arthur Smith at the helm. It's got to be Matt Ryan. He's really the only kind of left common denominator. It wasn't Kyle Shanahan, the offensive coordinator. They got rid of him. They were still losing bad. It wasn't Dan Quinn. They got rid of him this year. They're still bad. It's Matt Ryan. You must get him off of this team and build and start anew. Arthur Smith already loves Cordero Patterson. You build around Cordero Patterson as the kind of A1 tier 1 player on your team. You can't build around Matt Ryan anymore. We see it. He's trash. They bring in Josh Rosen. He goes 1 of 6 for 14 yards and an interception. He's not good either, and we obviously know that. And leave it to the Falcons to end up with Josh Rosen, the first overall draft pick that absolutely floundered big time for the Cardinals and got shipped around after year 1 that we've never seen in the NFL before, from a number 1 overall pick to throw him in the dumpster after 1 season. He's on the Falcons now. That's all you need to know about this Falcons team. They are absolutely garbage. Running game here for the Falcons was basically the best thing about the team. Wayne Gallman, 15 carries for 55 yards. Cordero Patterson, 4 carries for 25 yards. Mike Davis, 4 carries for 18 yards. They tried it because you're obviously not relying on Matt Ryan. And who was Matt Ryan trying to get the ball to? Kyle Pitts, leading receiver. That's good. 4 catches for 60 yards. Olamide Zaccheaus, 2 catches, 22 yards. Wayne Gallman, 1 catch, 21 yards. Cordero Patterson, 1 catch, 14 yards. Frank Darby, 1 catch, 14 yards. And that was their offense, folks. Does that sound good? Of course not. So Cowboys absolutely blow out the Falcons 43-3. And this is what I'm talking about with ball hawks right here, folks. Absolute ball hawks. Anthony Brown right here, just jumping the route here, bobbling the ball a couple of times, but ultimately coming away with it. Great ball skills here by everybody on this Cowboys defense. I mean, we all know Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs and all that, but Anthony Brown is getting into the mix here as well with these interceptions. This Cowboys defense is full of ball hawks. Dan Quinn, I know we kind of slandered them in this offseason, but I am so sorry for doing that. It's obviously not. We were obviously wrong to slander you. We weren't too wrong to slander you as a head coach. You are not a head coach, but overall, you are a great defensive coordinator. Yes, sir. And the man is kind of coming back alive here. Had the great days with the Legion of Boom, and now has this day. I don't know. What do we call this? We need to come up with a nickname for this Cowboys defense. Can we get anything right off the dome here? This Cowboys defense, they're obviously not the Legion of Boom like Seattle. Once again, Dan Quinn coached that team. What is this Cowboys team? Legion of Boom. They were the big hitters. They're ball hawks over here. So what do we got? What do we got? Cowboys and Ball Hawks. How can we combine that name together? Cowboy Ball Hawks. It would have to be like the Bald Hawks, like Bald Eagles, Freedom, America, America's team, Bald Eagle with Ball Hawks, Bald Hawk, Bald Eagle Hawk. Does that flow? It doesn't have that nice ring to it, folks. Doesn't have that nice ring to it. Damn it. Bald Hawks. Bald Hawks, do we call them do we call this defense the Bald Hawks, folks? It may. Does it stick? I'll leave it up to y'all. I'll leave it up to y'all on Twitter about that. I'll post this clip after the show, but we got to come up with a name of this defense for the Cowboys because I really think they've earned a name for what this defense has been doing so far this season. So we'll come up with one before next game for this Cowboys team. They're not on a bye or anything. What does this Cowboys team have coming up next here? Let's quickly take a look at that. What do we got coming up this week? This Cowboys team is facing... Ooh, the Chiefs. Oh yeah. That's the game you solidify your name with. Now that the Chiefs are back in the spotlight, everybody's talking about them. They're saying they're no big deal. Now they're fine, and I agree, they're fine. We've been known they've been fine. But now they're big picture again in the media, and now the Cowboys Bald Hawks defense is coming into town, folks. Woof, woof. We definitely got to get the nickname down so we can be yelling that defensive nickname all throughout that game, because that's got to be the America's game of the week. It's the 425 game. I'm sure it's on Fox. It's going to be great. But we will come up with that defensive name here for this Cowboys defense. They earned it. Dan Quinn has earned another great, intimidating name for his defense here, like he had in Seattle. So Cowboys get the big O win here, 43-3. Sheesh. Alrighty, next game up here, Saints at the Titans, and we were this close, folks. We were half a point hooks away from our cash cow of the Titans once again getting milked to the bone, folks. But unfortunately, the Titans only win by 2, 23-21. We had the Titans minus 2.5. Ugh. But unofficially, we were right on the money, folks. Unofficially, absolutely, we were right about this Titans team and all that. Once again, getting disrespected by the spread line because the Titans were up by 8 on this final drive and actually had the Saints at a 3rd and 13 from the 15-yard line, before they go down and score that touchdown. So the Titans defense was really kind of very close to winning by 8 here, which would have solidified our special bonus pick that we had on Wednesdays with Wheels, the podcast that we were featured on this week. We told their audience to go Titans minus 6.5, but they were winning by 8. So unofficially, we're basically right on the money. Unfortunately, they give up a 3rd and 13 for a touchdown. Unfortunately. And also the drive before this drive where they really had a chance to really kind of ice the clock, they were way too kind of, the Titans were way too conservative on this last drive here to try to eat up some clock. They were up by 8. There was 5 minutes left. They're starting at their own 25-yard line. So yes, you want to eat up the clock, but you also want to kind of move the ball and maybe even put it away. You could put it away by scoring a touchdown because now you make it 2 possessions here. So I was really disappointed with the Titans play calling here. This was their final drive before the Saints go down and score the touchdown. They missed the 2-point conversion. That's why they only won by 2. I was a little hoping they made the 2-point conversion, then Titans won by a field goal in overtime, so our -2 hit. But overall, the Titans win, so once again, Vegas is still disrespecting them, like we know. But this was their last drive, folks. 5-yard run, 6-yard run, -5-yard run, pass incomplete, run for no gain on 3rd and 15. So in the 2nd and 15 was just a short pass. So they were real conservative there. I didn't really like it. The -5-yard run because the Saints knew they were running the ball. I mean, they ran the ball the last 2 times. They know they're just trying to run out the clock here. They made it so obvious to everybody. So the Saints pressured, sent the house, and they blow up the run 5 yards in the backfield. And then they go dink and dunk on the 2nd and 15, incomplete. And then 3rd and 15, just run for no gain. You run the ball on 3rd and 15. You don't try to get a penalty. You don't try to move the ball. You just kind of give in. I didn't really love what they did there. So a little disappointed in the Titans and how they kind of managed the game on the very end. And truly unfortunate they gave up that touchdown to make it a 2-point game at the end of the day. But let's start here with this Titans team. Ryan Tannehill goes 19 of 17. What do we got here? 19 of 17. It's, oops, that was not it. That is not it, because that is not a number. 19 of 17. Here we go. 19 of 27. Jeez Louise. 19 of 27. 70% completion percentage. We like that. 213 yards on 19 completions. Not really dinking and dunking. We'll take that. 1 touchdown, no pick. Anybody fumble here? Ryan Tannehill fumbled, but didn't lose it, so no turnovers here by the Titans. Another green flag on why we like this Titans team. And then running the ball wise, it's still not clicking and flowing here without Derrick Henry still. So another concern here with this Titans team is the running game. Basically their only concern. Deontay Foreman, 11 carries for 30 yards. Adrian Peterson, 8 carries for 21 yards. Jeremy McNichols, 4 carries for 7 yards. So they just don't have that running back. Obviously, we've known this. That's why Derrick Henry was getting every carry every single game. That's why it wasn't a running back by committee here in Tennessee, because there was nobody that could stack up to what Derrick Henry does, or even remotely or closely or anything like that. We saw it last night as well. Truly unfortunate. And then who was Ryan Tannehill throwing the ball to? Still or no? Julio Jones. The hamstring is acting up still. So Ryan Tannehill throws Marcus Johnson, leading receiver, 5 catches for 100 yards. We'll see if he can truly emerge here as wide receiver 2. Deontay Foreman, 2 catches, 48 yards. Jeff Swain, 4 catches, 26 yards. A.J. Brown only had 1 catch for 16 yards. Nick Westbrook-Akeen, 1 catch, 10 yards. Chester Rogers, 1 catch, 9 yards. McCoy Pruitt, 1 catch, 2 yards, touchdown. Anthony Fersker, 1 catch, 2 yards. Jeremy McNichols, 1 catch, 1 yard. Des Fitzpatrick, 1 catch, no yard. Adrian Peterson, 1 catch, -1 yard. So gotta find somebody else to really get the ball to. We've seen kind of Ryan Tannehill, without Derrick Henry, find somebody to get going real early and often. In this game, it was a little bit of Marcus Johnson leading the team in receiving yards with 100. Real solid there. So we'll see if this Titans team is the real deal as the season continues to progress without Derrick Henry, but it is definitely big time showing here. Big bright light here that this running game is not what it needs to be to really kind of continue to for this Titans team to continue to win games. They need the running game to start getting a little bit better out here. Alrighty, and then this Saints team now. Trevor Siemian goes 19 of 34. Remember, coming into this game, we were still impressed with Trevor Siemian, and this what made it so a little tough this week because we've been so big on the Titans, but we just got big on Trevor Siemian, but we still liked the Titans over the Saints, and the Titans win by 2. But either way, Trevor Siemian goes 19 of 34. 55% completion percentage, but he had 298 passing yards on 19 completions. Fantastic. It's stretching the field vertically, not dinking and dunking. So big shout out to Trevor Siemian. 2 touchdowns, no picks. He didn't fumble. Deontay Harris fumbled once and lost it. Let's see where this fumble came. Fumble came off of halftime here. Saints get the ball first, and they fumble on the very first play, and the Titans were right in great field position at the Saints' 19-yard line and capitalized with a touchdown. So that's truly unfortunate there by the Saints. Definitely can't. You just lost all momentum instantly, gave all that momentum to the Titans. Cannot be doing that. Taysom Hill got into the game twice, throwing the ball 2 of 2 for 11 yards, utilized him in the red zone as well. We're going to see him rushing the ball here in a second. But Mark Ingram, 14 carries for 47 yards and a touchdown. Remember, there was no Alvin Kamara in this game. And then Taysom Hill ran the ball 3 times for 23 yards. Sean Payton said we'd see more Taysom Hill, and we did see more Taysom Hill. But overall, Trevor Siemian kind of got it done. Still a little impressed by him, and I think we're definitely buying him heading into next week as well. All right, who was Trevor Siemian throwing the ball to? We had Deontay Harris, leading receiver, 3 catches for 84 yards. Mark Ingram, 4 catches, 61 yards. Traquan Smith, 4 catches, 44 yards and a touchdown. Can we still get this man the ball? Marquez Callaway, 2 catches, 37 yards and a touchdown. Once again, get him the ball as well. Marquez Callaway, with the Jameis Winston connection, you can go deep here. Got Marquez Callaway the ball here, and he scores a touchdown on 2 catches. Fantastic. Juwan Johnson, 2 catches, 36 yards. Adrian Troutman, 5 catches, 32 yards. And Taysom Hill caught 1 pass for 15 yards. So he threw 2 balls, ran 3 balls, caught a ball. Obviously utilizing Taysom Hill exactly how the Saints team loves to utilize Taysom Hill. Unfortunately, just come up a little bit short here. Like we said, they had the touchdown here on their very last drive. Unfortunately, missed the 2-point conversion. Trevor Siemian to Mark Ingram, pass incomplete. Womp, womp. They were trying to use Taysom Hill out there, but they go off sides, and it makes it from the 7-yard line instead of the 2-yard line. So they wanted to use Taysom Hill at the 2-yard line, which would have been the smart call because you can do so much with them. But with one play from the 7-yard line, can't really use Taysom Hill in that kind of regard. So truly unfortunate there. Titans hold on to win 23-21. Alrighty, next game up here is the Jaguars and the Colts. And man, oh man, this Colts team, we took a -10. They only win by 6 here, and they only put up 23 points, and it was right down to the wire. This Colts team, folks, is so not good, folks. This is not a good team, and I can't wait for Hard Knocks to start up in season with the Colts this year, because what the hell is going on with this Colts team? There's no reason why this Colts team should not be blowing out these worser kind of teams overall. This Colts team, they don't rise to the occasion to beat the kind of best teams. They don't really kind of play down to their competition. They're just a mediocre team all around here, folks. They don't do good against bad teams. They don't do good against good teams. They just are mad. They're a mad team with really no identity, which an identity really should just pop off the screen here because they've got running backs on deck here. This should be a pure running team where really Carson Wentz only has like 10 to 12 passes a game, but they're still not doing that. Even though the running game was great all throughout, they still have Carson Wentz throw the ball 34 times, and they still only put up 23 points, and they still only win by 1 possession. So I don't know what the heck is wrong with this Colts team. It's not a good team at all, folks. Yes, they're 5-5 and have won some games here, but they're not memorable. They're not concerning. There's no great value betting-wise, whether they're getting points or swallowing points. They're never on a great value line. We thought they were this week, -10. Obviously, we were wrong. They gave up 17 points against the Jaguars and only put up 23 points. I mean, you only win by 6 against the Jags? Come on. Is this Jags team good? No, I don't think they're good. The defense is okay. I think the defense is the best thing about this team. Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback, but, he definitely needs to clean up some accuracy issues here and there. And the Jaguars need better schemes passing-wise, and they need better wide receivers. So this Jaguars team is not good, I don't think. But over these last 2 weeks, they won a game and they were competitive. So are they turning a corner? I don't think so, but we'll keep an eye on them. But let's start here with this Colts team. I mean, they got out to nice scoring, 3-0. They block a punt. It goes for 7. They go up 10-0. They score a touchdown. It's 17-0. It is 17-0, folks. Colts with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. 17-0. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Is this alarming that the final score was 23-17? Of course it is, folks. Of course it is. They really only won because the block punt went for 7. I mean, if we're going to, just try and pinpoint, you won by 7 or you won by 6, that's 7 points right there. So I just don't know what to make of this Colts team. It's not a good team overall. So let's start here with the Colts and Carson Wentz. He goes 22 of 34 for 64% completion percentage. It's right in the window of 62 to 65, which we like, so it's okay. 180 yards on 22 completions, dink and dunk. Still no T.Y. Hilton, but you still have Michael Pittman Jr., and you still have Mo Alley Cox and that. Oh, no, T.Y. Hilton did play this game. Oh, my God, this is unacceptable then. I didn't even think T.Y. Hilton was playing this game because he did nothing all game. 1 catch for 5 yards. I mean, what are we doing out here? The running game was on point. How is the passing game not on point as well? The run opens up the pass opens up the run. We all know this, and yet here we are, the Colts scoring 6 points for 3 straight quarters at the end of the game. I mean, what are we doing? What is this Colts team, folks? Ugh. Such a disappointing team. We were talking up this team the entire offseason. It was our early Super Bowl predicting pick, but then 2 weeks into the season, we changed it to the Rams. Jeez, and we're nowhere near buying this Colts team back to Super Bowl champions or really even playoff contenders. I don't even count this Colts team as a playoff contender. If they are a playoff contender, it's exactly what they did last season, first round exit against the Bills. I mean, that's what it will be. Alrighty, what do we got here? So Carson Wentz dinking and dunking, no touchdown, no interception. Okay, you don't even need him. Carson Wentz is just not even needed out here. Jonathan Taylor, 21 rushes for 116 yards and a touchdown. He was great. Nyheim Hines, they only give 2 carries, 2 for 12 yards. Carson Wentz, 4 rushes for -1 yard. And who was Carson Wentz throwing to? Michael Pittman Jr., leading receiver, so I'll give him that. 5 catches for 71 yards. I like that. But then we go to Jack Doyle, 3 catches, 31 yards, their tight end. And then we go to Nyheim Hines, 2 catches, 17 yards, their running back. And then we get Ashton Doolin, 1 catch, 16 yards. Kalen Granson, 1 catch, 15 yards. Jonathan Taylor, 6 catches, 10 yards. 6 catches, 10 yards. 6 catches, 10 yards. Big old dink and dunk. Zach Paschal, their kind of number 3 wide receiver with T.Y. Hilton in the game. 2 catches, 9 yards. Mo Alley Cox, kind of wide receiver number 4, if you will. 1 reception, 6 yards. And T.Y. Hilton, obviously wide receiver number 1. 1 reception for 5 yards on 5 targets. This is why we have big concerns on the Colts, folks. This is why we break down these games in depth every single week, folks, to see how they're winning, how they're moving the ball, when they're moving the ball. And we get it every single time here with this Colts team. No big scoring performances, no consistent scoring anyway, no consistent getting the ball to the wide receivers. I think we had like 1 game where Michael Pittman Jr. and T.Y. Hilton were like wide receiver number 1 and 2 in this game, yardage-wise, and they've never been able to replicate that. Michael Pittman Jr. this game leading the team in receiving yards at 71, and T.Y. Hilton leading the team in least receiving yards with 5. I mean, they sandwiched with their number 1 and number 2 wide receivers. That's not good, folks. Of course that's not good. So, Colts are still this not good team. Defense, it's okay. Offense, it's below average. It's only good running the ball wise. They've got good receivers. It's just Carson Wentz is not good on this team. I don't get it. So, Colts escape here with the win. They get a win here. They score a field goal in the 4th quarter to make it 6-point lead, to put the pressure on the Jaguars on their last possession, and they fumble. Trevor Lawrence is sacked and he fumbles on the 46-yard line of the Colts with a minute left, so a chance to still to win the game here at the end. But Trevor Lawrence fumbles. Once again, he's got to clean up the turnovers a little bit. We see all these interceptions. We see all these kind of big throws down the field that result in interceptions, and we get this fumble last night. So Trevor Lawrence just need to be more consistent and accurate and clean up the turnovers, because we're getting Mac Jones, and did we all just see Mac Jones last night? I mean, definitely the best quarterback in this draft class as of right now. So Trevor Lawrence definitely has a lot to clean up, but they're still competing in games for the most part. So I don't even know what to make of this Jaguars team. I just know the Colts are trash. All right, now let's talk about the Jaguars. Let's start with Trevor Lawrence. He goes 16 of 35. Yikes, 45% completion percentage. 162 yards on 16 completions, not dink and dunk, borderline. No touchdown, no interceptions. He did have that fumble. He fumbled twice, only lost the one. Bad job there by him all around, though. Running the ball here, Jamal Agnew, 3 carries for 79 yards and a touchdown. James Robinson, first game back, 12 carries for 57 yards and a touchdown. Real solid. Trevor Lawrence took off 5 times for 33 yards. He's a solid. He's got some nice legs on him, so not a true dual threat quarterback, but, can utilize his legs like a Ryan Tannehill-esque. And then who was he trying to throw the ball to? Dan Arnold, the tight end that they traded for a couple of weeks ago. Their leading receiver again. This is like the second or third time. And Dan Arnold has only been here, 4 or 5 games maybe? And so Trevor Lawrence, utilize your weapons a little bit more, please. Marvin Jones, 2 catches, 35 yards. James Robinson, 4 catches, 27 yards. Laquan Treadwell, 1 catch, 18 yards. Laviska Shenault Jr., 3 receptions on 8 targets for only 15 yards. This is what we're talking about. So just nothing great here by Trevor Lawrence all around. He's definitely got to clean it up. Had a chance at the end of the game to win it. He fumbles it. So Colts win 23-17. We don't buy this Jaguars team, and this win for the Colts. This is not a viable team still. Not good. Alrighty, then we get this game. We get this great game that we saw last night. Lions at the Steelers. Oh, wow, what a great game, right? Big Ben's out, so we got Jared Goff versus Mason Rudolph. Now, we know Mason Rudolph is absolutely garbage. Worst quarterback in the entire NFL, folks. I'll take any second, third, fourth string quarterback over Mason Rudolph. I do not care. I said we would take Sam Darnold over Mason Rudolph, and y'all know how much trash Sam Darnold is. He lost his starting job to Cam Newton, who did not play at all this season, who was kind of exiting the league as Sam Darnold was trying to revolutionize and revitalize his career. So that's how bad Sam Darnold is, and I would rather have Sam Darnold over Mason Rudolph, folks. I'd rather have no quarterback over Mason Rudolph. But worse than Mason Rudolph last night was Jared Goff. How do you, Jared Goff, not step up your play knowing that you're going against Mason Rudolph? This was the game to win. It went into overtime. You had multiple chances, and you just could not put one good drive together to beat Mason Rudolph. Jared Goff, you need to be expelled from the league. I mean, every single week, Jared Goff is literally under the microscope because of the whole Sean McVay getting rid of Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford, even though Jared Goff got him to a Super Bowl. Jared Goff was under the microscope every game this season, and they are 0-8-1. Trash quarterback, can't beat Mason Rudolph, cannot outperform Mason Rudolph. What an absolute garbage game from start to finish. 16-16 goes into overtime, and it results into a tie, folks. Steelers fumbling twice in overtime, and the Lions with 4 drives in overtime. Last one only 8 seconds. So 3 drives in overtime. They can't put up any points. Absolutely trash. They miss a field goal here, 48-yarder. Kicking game is trash. Once again, Dan Campbell's tears a couple of weeks ago. Nobody cares. There's no crying in football, so we never understood why everybody was getting behind Dan Campbell at that point. Obviously, nobody with the Lions organization took that to heart. So the worst game of the week here, tie game, 2 garbage quarterbacks, and now let's go into the stats to see, did Mace Rudolph, the worst quarterback in the NFL, outperform Jared Goff? Oh boy, hang on. Oh, this is not good. Okay, now see, this is what we're saying, that it's catching up to us. It's catching up to us on a new incognito browser, folks. Oh my gosh. This NFL.com, I am about to go crazy. You are about to make me go crazy. Have you ever seen anybody go crazy, NFL.com? Because you are going to have a crazy person in front of wherever you are located. I am coming down to you. What are we doing out here? I can't even bring up the games, folks. Oh my goodness, I do not understand at all. I am just trying to look up these stats here. Okay, we're getting it back. Okay, see what we mean? We just have to refresh. Why does it crap out? It makes no sense. And hang on. Are we even getting it fully back here? Okay, we're back. Jeez Louise, it's so frustrating. Then we get the ad. That's why I have the ad block up, because I don't care about these ads. Stop with the ads. The ads are all over the place, folks. Half of this whole webpage, it's all ads. Stop with the ads. Jeez. Okay, but let's get back to these stats here. Who was the better quarterback, Jared Goff or Mason Rudolph? Here we go. Let's start here with the Steelers, since they were the home team. Mason Rudolph went 30 of 50, and whose idea was to let Mason Rudolph throw the ball 50 times? I don't care that this is the way that the game shook out. If Mason Rudolph ever throws the ball 50 times, I immediately fire the quarterback coach and the offensive coordinator. You are out of here. Are you out of your mind? You just wasted 50. Could you imagine the day after the game where you're just kind of running through the stats and the film and all that? You wasted 50 plays. Imagine having 50 plays to waste, folks. That's exactly what the Steelers did last night. Holy cow. He went 30 of 50, folks, 60% completion percentage, 242 yards, dink and dunk, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He did not fumble. Everybody else was fumbling. He did not fumble. Let's see where this interception came. It came in the first quarter on the 3rd drive, and classic Lions did nothing. 4 plays, 0 yards off of a turnover at their own 48-yard line. I mean, Trent, folks, everything about these two teams last night were pure trash. Utter garbage. Utter garbage. Utter garbage. Utter garbage, folks. So Mason Rudolph, trash, but Jared Goff, even worse, folks. Can we bring up Jared Goff stats, or we're going to get a frozen screen here? Okay, once again, classic NFL. Here we go. See what we mean with this website is absolute trash, folks. This website's so trash. But back to Jared Goff. Talking about trash, NFL.com website trash, and these two teams trash. 2 quarterbacks trash. It's all trash here, folks. Jeez. But here we go. Jared Goff goes 14 of 25. 14 of 25, 56% completion percentage. Even worse than Mason Rudolph. Not enough memory to open up the page? You're telling me there's not enough memory? I am about to go berserk, folks. After the show, I'm flying down to NFL.com. I don't know where it's located, but I'll find it. I'll find it somewhere. All right, here we go. Jared Goff, finally back to the stats here. Jared Goff, 50... Let me rerun these numbers. 14 of 25, 56% completion percentage, 114 yards, no touchdown, no pick. He's dinking and dunking. Did he fumble the ball? He didn't fumble the ball. No turnovers, but still, dinking and dunking, trash completion percentage. I mean, he only threw the ball 25 times. This is what the Steelers should have been doing. Why does DeAndre Swift get 33 rushes here where Najee Harris only gets 26? Newsflash, Najee Harris is better than DeAndre Swift. Now, DeAndre Swift is not that bad. DeAndre Swift has kind of been getting better and better this season. But overall, you keep the ball in your quarterback's hands like they did with Jared Goff 25 times. You don't let them ruin the game for you. Like Mason Rudolph basically ruined the game for the Steelers yesterday. So 2 quarterbacks being absolutely garbagely pathetic. The Steelers, let's talk about everything else besides these quarterbacks, please. Najee Harris, 26 rushes for 105 yards. Great job there. Mason Rudolph took off 4 times for 36 yards. I hope they blasted him. We may just watch these Mason Rudolph runs on our Wednesday film study just to watch this dude get blasted, folks. He's absolutely garbage. And then who was he throwing to? We had Deontay Johnson, 7 receptions for 83 yards. Ray McLeod, 9 receptions for 63 yards. So I'll give Mason Rudolph that. The only green flag silver lining I will ever give Mason Rudolph is that he went to wide receiver, so I will give him that. Deontay Johnson, leading receiver, I'll definitely give him that. Pat Freiermuth, 5 receptions for 31 yards. Najee Harris, 4 receptions, 28 yards. James Washington, 2 catches, 15 yards, a touchdown. Eric Ebron, 2 catches, 13 yards. Derek Watt, 1 catch, 9 yards. All right. And then for the Lions, running game, DeAndre Swift, 33 rushes for 130 yards. What a great game by him. And then who was Jared Goff throwing to? Amon-Ra St. Brown, 4 catches, 61 yards. Khalif Raymond, 4 catches, 29 yards. Trinity Benson, 2 catches, 17 yards. And that was really it. So 2 absolutely atrocious teams, both having really 3 possessions in overtime, and nobody wanted to win the game. All right, so the first official tie of the season, no official 0-17s this season, and that's what we got yesterday. So I'm glad that this took up about 3 hours of our time yesterday, right? Hopefully this wasn't the game in your area that you had to sit through, because I had to sit through the Bills-Jets absolute shellacking because they didn't put the Patriots-Browns game on TV for some reason. All right. Next game up here, please. Let's go to the next game. And we're going to have to refresh this now. We're going to have to refresh all the other tabs from here on out. So hopefully it sticks with us. All right, but here we go. Next game up, Browns at the Patriots. And woof, woof. Am I right? Woof. Absolutely. Unfortunate game here by this Browns team, losing 45-7. Not great. Baker Mayfield gets not benched, but he got kind of knocked out of this game. And once again, it's Matthew Judon, folks. Matthew Judon absolutely terrorizing quarterbacks. We've watched him all season long, folks. You know, the hit on Tua, the hit on Baker Mayfield. I believe he had a big hit on Russell Wilson. Was that right? I just know that Matthew Judon has been terrorizing all these quarterbacks, injuring. He's the one that I think kind of started to injure Tua. He had a big hit on Tua at the rib section, and then Tua kind of goes down with fractured ribs the next week. And this week, he made Baker Mayfield kind of go out of this game. So Matthew Judon is an absolute force to be reckoned with here with this Patriots team. We know this Patriots defense is really, really gosh dang good, and their offense is just being game managers what they need to be. So big credit to Mac Jones last night. Browns got out to a good start, scoring 7 points on their first possession. Patriots answered with a touchdown on their first possession, and then we had an interception by Baker Mayfield, and that's really when the tide turned, because then the Patriots go and score a touchdown off of that. They score another touchdown. They score another field goal. 24 points all in the first half, scoring on every single possession. And the Browns were struggling to really move the ball all first half. And it's basically over at that point. Being down 24-7 against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Yeah, good luck coming back from that. And then with Baker Mayfield going down on top of that. So just unfortunate situation here with this Browns team. I don't know what to make of Baker Mayfield. I don't want to sell him 100% out here, not having Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, but Dearness Johnson did have a nice game of 99 yards, so just unfortunate here with this Browns team. I'm not selling Baker Mayfield 100% yet. We definitely need this Browns team starting to beat kind of the upper echelon teams, and they haven't really been able to do that this season. They did it last year, but they are not really carrying it over to this season, and Baker Mayfield, I believe he's on a contract year, so he definitely needs to step it up in the back half of this season. I'll give him, I think this is the last kind of little bit of a free pass we will give Baker Mayfield. I mean, I don't think the national media can have it both ways, where Baker Mayfield is trash and this New England defense is one of the best in the league. I mean, we're seeing the media buying this Patriots team over the last kind of 2 weeks. We have as well. We just put them in our power rankings 2 weeks ago. I think we're keep on moving them up. But, this Patriots defense is really, really good. So Baker Mayfield floundering against this team, I don't think it tells us that much that we didn't already know. I don't think this is new information that we have to pile on top of our already assessment of what Baker Mayfield is, which is a little bit of he's in the middle of average, above average game manager. That's really where Baker Mayfield fits in at the current moment, and I don't think what we saw yesterday really changes that. So we'll see what Baker Mayfield can do next week. Hopefully he's healthy enough to go. It's seeming like he will be, but we will keep an eye on it. Let's start here with the Patriots since they got the big old win and we're scoring right from the get-go here. Mac Jones goes 19 of 23. Fan-freaking-tastic. Once again, Mac Jones making the right decisions, the right plays, not trying to do too much. 82% completion percentage for 198 yards. Not even really dinking and dunking, just taking the most optimal route here. And once again, credit to Josh McDaniels for scheming the plays open for Mac Jones. It's not like they have great weapons all around the field offensively with the receivers and all that. They don't have DeAndre Hopkins. They don't have DK Metcalf. They don't have Tyreek Hill. They've got Kendrick Bourne and Jacoby Myers and Brandon Bolden and N'Keal Harry and Nelson Aguilar. That sound like any of those tier ones that we just listed? Of course not. So big credit to this Patriots team all around. They are officially back. I know Cam Newton said, I'm back. But Bill Belichick is like, we're back. So they're back. The Patriots are officially back. Even though nobody's saying they're back. I'll say it for Bill. I'm back. Bill's like, yeah, I'm back. Short sleeve hoodie. I mean, I'm in the attire of Bill Belichick. I'm back. We're back. They're back. All right, Mac Jones, great night. 3 touchdowns, no picks. Great game managing football out here. And then who did we get last night? That we knew that we were going to get last night that absolutely got it done last night? Ramondre Stevenson, baby. No Damian Harris, so we knew Ramondre Stevenson would get all the carries, and he got all the carries and didn't fumble. So we could see more Ramondre Stevenson throughout the year. Ramondre Stevenson, 20 carries for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, baby. Woo! What a game. Love it. And who was Mac Jones throwing to? We had Kendrick Bourne, 4 catches for 98 yards, a touchdown. Jacoby Myers, 4 catches, 49 yards, a touchdown. Brandon Bolden, 3 catches, 38 yards. Hunter Henry, 4 catches, 37 yards, 2 touchdowns, utilizing him in the red zone like they do all the gosh dang time. N'Keal Harry, 1 catch for 26 yards. Nelson Aguilar, 2 catches, 21 yards. And Ramondre Stevenson, 4 catches, a little on 14 yards, but hey, he had 100 yards rushing. We don't need this man being the receiving running back as well. Woof, loved it. All right, and then that was the Patriots scoring. Offense great, everything was great. Defense great through this game. And then Baker Mayfield, he goes 11 of 21. Woof, that's not good. That is like 55% completion percentage. Let's get the exact number. 44%. My bad. I went the other way with it. 44% completion percentage, 73 yards. Yikes. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Yikes. He fumbled, didn't lose it. Once again, a little bit of yikes. We know Baker Mayfield does get a little bit of butterfingers with the ball. So not great there by Baker Mayfield last night. Dearness Johnson did his damnedest, and once again, big applause to Dearness Johnson. 2 times where he had to be the main and only back out here, and he got it done both times. So shout out to Dearness Johnson. 19 rushes for 99 yards, basically exactly what Ramondre Stevenson did besides the touchdown. So unfortunate. All right, and then we had Case Keenum go 8 of 12 for 81 yards, but by the time he got in the game, let's see where he was officially coming in the game at. We have this drive right here, still in the third quarter, and he gets kind of in the game. 2 minutes and 22 seconds left in the third quarter. So, Case Keenum inherited a 31-7 deficit. So it's not like Baker Mayfield was doing good and getting it done. No, so Case Keenum, inherited a bad game, and unfortunately, we're not expecting Case Keenum to win this game, right? All right, and then who was Baker Mayfield throwing to? We had Dearness Johnson, led the team in receiving, 7 receptions for 58 yards, so maybe a little bit better offensive. Well, I'm not even going to say that. It's still a good offensive production by Dearness Johnson, though. 7 receptions for 58 yards. Jarvis Landry, 4 catches, 26 yards. Austin Hooper, 4 catches, 25 yards, a touchdown. Harrison Bryant, 2 catches, 18 yards. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 1 catch, 16 yards. David Njoku, 1 catch, 11 yards. But unfortunately, just could not keep up scoring pace with this Patriots team, and this Patriots team at home is absolutely really good. So Patriots are back. Browns, we don't really know what to make of this team. Definitely not what they were last season, but I believe the pieces are still there to recapture the magic of last year. They just need to get it done. So we'll hold judgment officially on this Browns team until next week. Who do they got coming up this week? Hopefully they're not on a bye. Hopefully they got somebody decent. They got the Lions. So a good win that really should just kind of, hey, get them back into some rhythm, into some motion, and we'll see if they can kind of pick it up 2 weeks from now. All right. Next game up here, we got to refresh the page. Vikings at Chargers, and the Vikings actually win this game. Whoa, they went 27-20 out here, and they got it done. So I guess we give a little bit of credit to this Vikings team for finally winning a game out here. A close game all throughout. Had a little bit of a lead, then they squandered it, but then they just went on this nice kind of 4.5 minute drive to chew up the rest of the clock right there. And, you know, it's kind of crazy that this Vikings team actually closed out a game. You know, like we said, 4.5 minutes left. They're up 7 points right here in the fourth quarter, and they go down and use all 4.5 minutes so the Chargers don't get a chance. But we did have Dalvin Cook. He did fumble the ball here on one of these runs, ended up getting it back, fell right back on top of it. You know, we've seen this before. We've seen these, you know, Dalvin Cook. We've seen Kirk Cousins turn the ball over in the fourth quarter. Even a couple weeks ago, maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, where the Vikings were trying to close out the game, Dalvin Cook fumbled but got back on top of it. So we're still not buying this Vikings team. We're still seeing the same things over and over, barely closing out games, still turning over the ball when you basically have the game sealed in your hands. So still not buying this Vikings team, but we will give them a little bit of credit for beating the Chargers yesterday 27-20. Let's start here with this Vikings team. Kirk Cousins goes 25 of 37, and Kirk Cousins isn't a scrub. He's got really great stats. They just don't result in a win, so we're really not, you know, focused on Kirk Cousins because, yeah, he has good games, but they don't result in wins. This game resulted into a win, and it was a good game overall. 67% completion percentage. We'll take that. 294 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He did fumble once and lose it. Once again, you know, these players are turnover prone. Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook. His fumble came on the second drive, and luckily that the Chargers could not come away with any points on this. And real interesting, 4th and 9 at the Minnesota's 45-yard line, and they punt. Brandon Staley not being as aggressive as he's been. Interesting. I know that's a little bit tough for him to go to. He usually doesn't go for 4th and 9s, but it's in opponent's territory off of a turnover. It's kind of maybe his kind of forte at that point. He didn't take it. Dalvin Cook, 24 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown. No fumbles officially. Did they not count that as a fumble then? I'll go back into the film study, and I might highlight it a little bit later, but I'm pretty sure he fumbled as well, but not officially counted as we see in the stats. So Dalvin Cook, a great running game. Alexander Mattison, 4 carries for 16 yards. Once again, 4 yards a carry. We'll take that. Just didn't get a lot of the workload. And then who was Kirk Cousins throwing to? Justin Jefferson, 9 receptions, 143 yards. Adam Thielen, 5 receptions for 65 yards. So once again, that's never been the issue here with this Vikings team of Kirk Cousins not going to his weapons. They finally get a win right here. Dalvin Cook, 3 catches, 24 yards. Alexander Mattison, 1 catch, 24 yards. Chris Herndon, 1 catch, 14 yards. CJ Ham, 3 catches, 13 yards. Tyler Conklin, 3 catches, 11 yards, and 2 touchdowns. All right, and then on the Chargers side, Justin Herbert not looking as really good as he's been ever since the bye, unfortunately. Justin Herbert goes 20 of 34. We got 58% completion percentage, nothing good right there. 195 yards on 20 completions, a little bit of dink and dunk, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Let's see where this interception came, and it came in the second quarter, and it went for 7 points. Vikings go down and take it for a touchdown, and they lose by 7 points. That's 7 points right there. So little unfortunate here by Justin Herbert, and we do see him, you know, kind of regularly throw an interception or two. So this is not out of, you know, what we see on on a little bit of a regular basis here by Justin Herbert. And then Austin Eckler, 11 carries for 44 yards, really never got the running game going or anything consistent like that. Justin Herbert ran the ball twice for 22 yards as well. And then who was Justin Herbert throwing to? We had Keenan Allen, 8 catches for 98 yards. Mike Williams, 4 catches, 33 yards. Once again, Justin Herbert always utilizes his weapons, so, once again, no cause for concern here that much for the Chargers of losing this game. Donald Parham, 1 catch, 17 yards. Josh Palmer, 3 catches, 22 yards. Austin Eckler, 3 catches, 15 yards and a touchdown. And Jared Cook, 1 catch for 10 yards. Alrighty, and then the Chargers just unfortunately lose this game. They got a little bit behind. The defense couldn't shut down the Vikings. And like we said, the last 4.5 minutes, the Vikings were able to run out the clock. Do we have the 4th down conversions here? They got 4th down conversions as they have 3rd down efficiency. Chargers at a 41% 3rd down efficiency. Doesn't say how many times they went for it on 4th down. I don't think they really went for it that many times on 4th down. I don't think they were that aggressive this time around. I don't think there was many instances where they could go for it on 4th down in solid range. 4th and 4 at Minnesota's 27-yard line. That's when they take the field goal when they're down 3-0. So they're not that aggressive and they lose the game. Maybe that's what Brandon Staley needs to do. Maybe the aggressiveness was winning him all those games. Interesting. Here they weren't that aggressive and they lose by 7 here. So maybe that's their game. Maybe our knock was really what they should be doing. Maybe they shouldn't listen to us. Maybe. Let's not get crazy, folks, of not listening to us, but we'll keep an eye on it as we progress for the back end of the season. We just really crossed over onto the middle part, the second half of the season, if you will. So now we're starting to see our teams cleaning up what they did, all the mistakes in the first half of the season. In the second half, we just got our kind of first glimpse here, and maybe this Vikings team is finally starting to win these games because they really were competitive all through the first half of the season. Now we're kicking it into the back end, and they just got their first win. So we'll see. Maybe this is the time to start buying this Vikings team in the back end of the season when they've got everything kind of under their feet. They know how to win now. We'll keep a close eye on this Vikings team as we progress, but they get the nice win here, 27-20. Alrighty, next game up here is the Panthers at the Cardinals. And man, oh man, Colt McCoy's second game did not go as good as his first game. And this Panthers team with Cam Newton, man, oh man, they weren't starting him for the entire game, but they got him the ball a couple of times and he scored 2 big old touchdowns. Big old Cam Newton flex out here, and we'll talk about that as well. Unfortunate game for this Cardinals team. They fumble right on the first drive. It goes for 7. Then they have a turnover on downs from their own 42-yard line, 4th and 1. Colt McCoy can't get the QB sneak up the middle of the field and gives the Panthers another 7 points right there. And then they throw an interception and then another 3 points right there. And now another field goal, and they're up 23-0 at halftime, and that's going to be definitely tough to come back from. So Colt McCoy did not have the same performance that we saw last week. He went 11 of 20 for only 107 yards. And if we remember what we saw last week from the Cardinals, which really shouldn't be that much of a surprise by us this week, and why we actually stayed away from the Cardinals, is because that Cardinals defense really set Colt McCoy up real early in the game to kind of score touchdowns off of great defensive plays of setting up a short field position. And the Cardinals were able to take advantage of that. They didn't get that luxury here. They were actually behind the sticks in most of the time, and that's not going to work for Colt McCoy. So Colt McCoy goes 11 of 20 here, nothing great, 55% completion percentage, 107 yards, no touchdown, and interception. The interception came, like we said here, in the first quarter that went down for 3 points with the Panthers. So not good here by Colt McCoy. He's not better than Kyler Murray, and I don't think anybody thought that, but now we have true confirmation. Running game out here, James Conner by his lonesome with no Chase Edmonds as running back by committee. So James Conner, 10 rushes for 39 yards and a touchdown, and Eno Benjamin, 6 rushes for 22 yards. And who was Colt McCoy throwing the ball to? Well, we had Christian Kirk, 7 receptions for 58 yards, so I'll take that, especially with no DeAndre Hopkins. Christian Kirk is, definitely maybe wide receiver 1, 2, or 3. I mean, they've got really great wide receivers, so Christian Kirk, getting to your actual weapons, we'll give that for Colt McCoy, but overall, 10 points, yikes. Zach Ertz, 4 catches, 46 yards. James Conner, 3 catches, 25 yards. Rondale Moore, 2 catches, 10 yards. AJ Green, 1 catch, 4 yards. So nothing great here. Colt McCoy also fumbled as well. Fumbled, interception, 2 out of the first 3 drives of the game. That's nothing good for success. All right, now let's talk about the Panthers because they got it done. 34 points, 34-10, fantastic from the start. P.J. Walker was the starting quarterback. Yes, Cam Newton played, but they were still having P.J. Walker be the main quarterback. And even when they got up big, even up 23-0 going into halftime, even up 31-3 at this point, they still don't use Cam Newton. And I think that was real smart. I think that would be an option on the table. Hey, we're up here. We're going to win this game. Let's get Cam Newton in the game so we can just kind of play around with the playbook and all that. I think that would be an option to do, but I'm glad that Matt Rule did not put Cam Newton out as the kind of main quarterback even when the game was over. I thought that was really great by Matt Rule. There's not a lot to celebrate with Matt Rule this year, but that decision not to play Cam Newton when the game was kind of out of hand, I thought that was a really great decision. So, P.J. Walker went 22 of 29, took care of business here. 22 of 29, we get 75% completion percentage, 167 yards, no touchdown, an interception. Let's see where this interception came. It came in the second quarter here, and the Cardinals went 4 and out. Womp, womp, not taking advantage of turnovers, recipe for disaster. He also fumbled twice and lost 1 here, folks, so not great here. And he fumbled here in the third quarter, and once again, the Cardinals go 4 and out, not able to do anything off of turnovers. Womp, womp. Cam Newton got into the game here. 3 passes. He went 3 of 4, so 75% completion percentage, 8 yards, a touchdown. Fantastic. He ran the ball 3 times for 14 yards and a touchdown. Absolutely fantastic. Getting it done in the red zone. Christian McCaffrey, 13 carries for 95 yards. Chuba Hubbard, 9 carries for 27 yards and a touchdown. Amir Abdullah, 9 carries for 24 yards. So let's see if this is the offense that they're starting to run here. Multiple running backs. Obviously, you have your A1 tier 1 and Christian McCaffrey, but with the Cam Newton-led offense, it's going to turn into a lot of running here. So getting Amir Abdullah kind of acclimated, getting Chuba Hubbard acclimated, but he's already been acclimated all season long here. I think this is a really great kind of insight on what's to come with this Panthers offense. A lot of running the ball. And then the leading receivers here, Christian McCaffrey, 10 receptions for 66 yards. P.J. Walker just going to who's already established here. Why not? I've got no problem with backup quarterbacks coming in and dinking and dunking and utilizing their running backs and tight ends. I've got no problem with that. Then we have Robbie Anderson, 4 catches, 37 yards and a touchdown. I believe it was Cam Newton that gave Robbie Anderson that touchdown pass. So Robbie Anderson finally happy now. We saw him last week kind of a little bit of bitching out Sam Darnold for good reasons. Amir Abdullah, 4 receptions, 27 yards. DJ Moore, 4 receptions, 24 yards. Brandon Zlystra, 2 receptions for 18 yards. So overall, the Panthers got it done offensively, defensively, looked really good. And then after the game, Cam Newton with the ultimate flex right here. He was asked by a reporter how much of the playbook he knew, and Cam replied saying, quote, 2 touchdowns worth. Ooh, what a flex. Oh, how much of the playbook I know? Well, I know I can score twice out on this bitch. Just getting signed here like 4 or 5 days ago. So what's good? What's good? Slander me, try to psych, reverse card, uno. 2 touchdowns worth of the playbook is how much I know. How much do you know? How many touchdowns you score this game? 0? Well, I came in and scored 2. What is good? Loved it. And then this, even better than that ultimate flex here at the podium. Cam Newton coming and being a leader. Look at everybody huddled around him. Everybody buying into him, listening. Everybody puts their hands in. Everybody puts their hand in right there. Cam Newton kind of breaking the guys down on the sideline, and everybody puts their hand in. That shows a sign of respect. They already respect him. Nobody respected Sam Darnold like this. Sam Darnold never got on his knees right here to kind of bring everybody together and be a great leader for this Panthers team. We've never seen Sam Darnold do this, and Cam Newton did this game 1 out here. So big applaud here to Cam Newton, the leader. We always love leadership here on the show. Dak Prescott during Hard Knocks, all that. We've seen Patrick Mahomes be a leader on the sideline when everything wasn't going good earlier this season, and now we're getting Cam Newton, first game of the season here on a new team. Couple days ago signed here, getting touchdowns, being a leader, energy. Everything is fantastic here by Cam Newton, and if Cam Newton could play anywhere, it really only should be the Panthers. And I'm gonna give him a little bit of more buyability. I know we sold all of our buyability on Cam Newton this offseason, but he's fits. He's Carolina. He is Carolina, folks. They all embrace him. They all love him, and he's back. And we'll see if this Panthers team can kind of turn it around. It's not too late, folks. I mean, there's everybody's good in the NFL. It's crazy. We don't really have that many trash teams in this league, and this Panthers team still has an opportunity to turn it around, especially with how good their defense is. The offense just has to be game managers, and there's a lot of good talent on this Panthers offense. So big shout out to Cam Newton, and now he's got us bought back in. Cam Newton has us bought back in. How crazy is that? So Panthers get the big old win over the Cardinals. All right, next game up here is the Eagles at the Broncos right here. One of our official picks, Eagles plus 2.5. We love this Eagles team, folks, and they showed us why yesterday. The great defense, the well-balanced offense. This is the most well-balanced offense that there is in the league, and they're ready to start catching their stride offensively, folks. Another great win for the Eagles here, winning 30-13. We got to go a little bit quicker. We got 3 more games, so we are going to go a little bit quicker here to finish up today. But let's start here with the Eagles. Exactly what we want to see by this Eagles team. Jalen Hurts goes 16 of 23. 16 of 23, that is 69% completion percentage. Once again, Nick Sirianni not leaving it to Jalen Hurts to go out there and single-handedly win the game. They're on their kind of Patriots bullshit. The defense is good. We've got a good running game. We don't need our young quarterback, to go out there and sling it 40, 35, 40, 45, 50 times like Mason Rudolph times a game. So fantastic here of Nick Sirianni. He's truly playing out as a good head coach out here, and this is what this Eagles team needs. They're young, and they're just figuring out how to move the ball and win games, and it's all coming together week by week, game by game, play by play. And this Eagles team, folks, watch out. Do not sleep on this Eagles team. So Jalen Hurts, great completion percentage, 178 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw a pick, not great by him. Let's see where this interception came in the third quarter, and it resulted into no points for the Broncos. It was a one-possession game at this point. Cannot throw the interception here, but it results into a fumble 6 by the Broncos. So overall, not terrible, but let's clean up those silly mistakes. And that's like the only knock that we have on Jalen Hurts is that we do see these bad throws here and there. Remember that interception against the Cowboys when they were still in the game, and he threw it real bad, and everything went downhill from there. So just got to clean up the silly turnovers in this Eagles team. They're going to be the real deal, even though they kind of already are the real deal. But so good night here by Jalen Hurts. Running game here, this is what we love. Well balanced. 23 passes by Jalen Hurts. We get 12 rushes by Jordan Howard for 83 yards. How fantastic is that? Then we get Boston Scott, 11 rushes for 81 yards. And then we get, so that's 23 rushes by the running backs, 23 passes by Jalen Hurts. And then we get 14 rushes by Jalen Hurts as well, utilizing what Jalen Hurts is. He's a nice dual threat quarterback out here. So Jalen Hurts took off 14 times for 53 yards. So rushing game, running back by committee with the pure running backs, over 150 yards. Fantastic. Equal production. Fantastic. And then Jalen Hurts going on his running game a little bit for 53 yards as well. So this is fantastic. This is what the Eagles offense is all about, folks. Well balanced. And who was Jalen Hurts throwing to? Devontae Smith, their rookie leading receiver. Four receptions for 66 yards and 2 touchdowns. Love that. Quez Watkins, 4 receptions, 33 yards. Dallas Goedert, their tight end, 2 catches, 28 yards. Boston Scott, 2 catches, 24 yards. And Jalen Reagor, 1 catch for 12 yards. So they've got the kind of young team. Nick Sirianni, first-year head coach. Devontae Smith, first-year receiver. And Jalen Hurts kind of in the middle of his first 16 game stretch. I don't even think he's played 16 games yet. He's got 10 this season. I think he only had like 5 last year. So he's still not a full season under his belt. This is still a young team. The defense got it done. Now let's talk about this Broncos team. We were not buying this Broncos offense, even though it had good success last week against the Cowboys. One game doesn't really show us or prove anything. We wanted to see the Broncos this game. We didn't have any faith in them, and this is exactly why they lose 30-13. But Teddy Bridgewater goes 22 of 36, 61% completion percentage, not the worst, 226 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He didn't fumble, so well done. Didn't turn the ball over by Teddy Bridgewater, so overall an okay game. Javonte Williams led the team in rushing, 8 carries for 48 yards. Melvin Gordon, 9 carries for 45 yards, a touchdown. He did fumble, though, as well. The fumble came on the fumble 6 right there off the interception that was supposed to get the Broncos back in the game. So, real bad job here by Melvin Gordon to squander the opportunity to get back in the game. And who was Teddy Bridgewater throwing the ball to? We had Albert Okuwogbunam, 3 receptions for 77 yards. Noah Fant, 5 catches, 59 yards. Then Jerry Jeudy, 6 catches for 48 yards. Cortland Sutton, 2 catches, 29 yards. Tim Patrick, 3 catches, 14 yards. So got to get the actual playmakers the ball a little bit more out here. They were trying to, just couldn't really do it all game long. And that fumble by Melvin Gordon really killed them. So great defense by the Eagles here. Great offense here to get some points evenly throughout the game. 10 points first quarter, 10 points second quarter, 7 points third quarter, 3 points fourth quarter. So overall, they did what they needed to do. Came out high-powered offense in the first half, set the tone, and the Broncos were not able to match. All right, then the next game up here, we get the Seahawks at the Packers in a good defensive battle here with 2 cold quarterbacks in cold weather. The final score exactly how this game really should have shaked out overall. Green Bay gets the win 17-0. So unfortunate here by the Seahawks, just no offense all game long, and we know this Packers defense is absolutely the real deal, folks, 100%. Russell Wilson, 20 of 40, so 50% completion percentage, 161 yards, dink and dunk, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, womp womp. First interception came in the third quarter, and it led to an interception by the Packers, so bailed out on that interception. Second interception came in the fourth quarter when they're down 10-0, trying to get the game back into reach here, and they throw an interception, and Green Bay goes on a 76-yard drive to score a touchdown off the interception to ice the game out. So Russell Wilson first game back, nothing great. Running game here, Alex Collins, 10 carries, 41 yards. And who was Russell Wilson throwing the ball to? Gerald Everett, leading receiver, 8 catches, 63 yards. DK Metcalf got ejected in this game, 3 catches, 26 yards. Tyler Lockett, 2 catches, 23 yards. Travis Homer, 3 catches, 22 yards. Will Dissly, 2 catches, 22 yards. So just unfortunate here with the Seahawks. And, we've seen the offense struggle with Geno Smith, and it's still struggling here with Russell Wilson. It's not that surprising, especially given that this Packers defense is really gosh dang good. And then for Aaron Rodgers, not as good as Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, they didn't really do that much in this game. 17-0, snowing game, all that. Not a lot of opportunity to do anything big. So Aaron Rodgers goes 23 of 37 out here, 62% completion percentage, 292 yards. No touchdown. The interception came off the Russell Wilson interception. The running game here by the Packers, A.J. Dillon, 21 carries for 66 yards and 2 touchdowns. Aaron Jones, 7 carries for 25 yards. He got a little banged up in this game, but it is nothing serious. We're going to talk about it in a second. Let's finish up here these receiving stats. Who was Aaron Rodgers getting the ball to? Devontae Adams, 7 receptions, 78 yards, led the team. No surprise. A.J. Dillon, 2 catches, 62 yards. Aaron Jones, 4 catches, 61 yards. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, 1 catch for a big old 41-yard pickup. Randall Cobb, 3 catches, 21 yards, and Mercedes Lewis, 2 catches for 10 yards. Packers able to get the win here. And then A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones goes down, and A.J. Dillon, what did Aaron Jones tell him when he went down and had to go out of the game? He said, quote, when he left, he looked at me and said, quote, get the job done. And we know A.J. Dillon is a good running back here for this Packers team, folks. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, this Packers team, it's not just Aaron Rodgers and the receivers, folks. This is a legitimate running team. We saw that last year with Aaron Jones rushing over for 1,000 yards, A.J. Dillon being that kind of great running back by committee, and he showed it here last night. So this Packers team is really the complete team of a good running game, a great passing game with Aaron Rodgers, and a great defense. So this is the real deal all around. Now, it's good news on Aaron Jones' injury. It's an MCL sprain, and he's expected to only be out a week or two. So A.J. Dillon could definitely carry the bulk of the load here, no worries. And then Russell Wilson, after the game, he said he felt fine with the repaired fingers, folks. The surgically repaired fingers, not the issue here. He cites it as 2 bad plays, which are the 2 interceptions, one coming really kind of in scoring distance, and the other one just unfortunately to lose the game. So Russell Wilson, it's not like he's hurt. The finger's fine. That wasn't playing into it. We just know the Seahawks offense is not good. We don't understand why it's not good, but it hasn't been good last year. It's not good this year. Unfortunate. All right, and then the last game of the night, the Chiefs at the Raiders, and the Chiefs are back, folks. They're fine. Once again, no real big sellability these last couple of weeks. They've just been turning over the ball. They didn't turn over the ball last week, which is great. They turned over the ball here, I believe, twice. They've turned the ball over twice here, just once. Mike Hughes fumbled just once, right? Was it just the one? One turnover here by the Chiefs. Let's see. I thought they had 2. Where did this first one come? Oh, yeah, the muff punt. That's what it was. They muffed the punt, and that was really their only turnover, and it came on special teams. So, once again, there's still buyability in this Chiefs team. Yes, they turned the ball over. We wanted a clean game, but it wasn't Patrick Mahomes. It wasn't really kind of one of the other, key players that's been fumbling. It's just, unfortunately, a little bit of a muff punt that, bit them in the butt. So, Chiefs still fine, folks. It was just the turnovers that were hurting them, and they go out and win this game 41-14. Now, unfortunate here. What do we make of this Raiders team and all of that? We were still buying this Raiders team. We took them plus 2.5. We were believing in Rich Bisaccia. We get Deshaun Jackson here. This game was still close, 24-14. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Derek Carr down 10, going deep to Deshaun Jackson, wide open, looking to score here, and he gets it at the 20-yard line, but then he fumbles the ball, and they're able to score off of this, and it just goes downhill from here. So I'm not really sure what to make of this Raiders team. Is this the classic Raiders team over the last 2 years that flounder in the back end of the season? We just hit the midway point of the season this week, so is this when we start to see the Raiders imploding? Does it go deeper than John Gruden of why this team is imploding at the back end of the season the last couple of seasons? So I don't really know. Last week against the Giants, it was Derek Carr not getting it done in the fourth quarter, in the second half, all those turnovers, missed field goals, all of that of why they lost one possession. And then here, where they're down 2 possessions, Deshaun Jackson, if he doesn't score here, they get a field goal, make it a 7-point game. If he goes down and scores here, it's only a 3-point game in the game, heading into the fourth quarter. So it's still a game at this point. Do they come out and win it? So I'm not ready to make an assessment here if the Raiders are still good like we want them to be and kind of have been seeing ever since John Gruden left, or if they're still going to be the same even without John Gruden in the back end of the season here. So let's start here with the Raiders here. Derek Carr goes 25 of 35. 25 of 35. We get 71% completion percentage, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns. The interception here. Let's see where this interception came. And it came here in the third quarter when they were trying to, this was before. We just saw the interception. It was off of, they count this as an interception? Pass incomplete. Hang on. When did this play come? Oh, this was, they counted it okay, yeah, that's right, okay. So the interception came off that fumble that we just saw from Deshaun Jackson. Chiefs take it down for 3 points. Once again, still only 2 possessions, and that interception, unfortunately, here by Derek Carr just kind of threw it up bad. It kind of threw it in double coverage. Not great there by Derek Carr, and that really does seal the game there. Chiefs go down and score a touchdown off of that. So Derek Carr still in the game, but that bad interception off of a bad fumble by Deshaun Jackson, that could have gotten them back in the game. Unfortunate. There was no rushing game here by the Raiders. Josh Jacobs, 7 rushes for 16 yards. Kenyon Drake, 4 rushes for 16 yards. Derek Carr led the team in rushing with only 18 yards on three rushes here. So there was no established running game here for the Raiders. Unfortunate. Who was Derek Carr throwing to? We had Bryan Edwards, leading receiver, 3 catches, 88 yards and a touchdown. Hunter Renfrow, 7 catches, 46 yards and a touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, 1 catch, 38 yards. He fumbled. Darren Waller, 4 catches, 24 yards. Zay Jones, 1 catch, 22 yards. Josh Jacobs, 5 catches, 20 yards. Kenyon Drake, 2 catches, 15 yards. So he's spreading the ball around decently here. So that's always good here by Derek Carr. And then Deshaun Jackson with the fumble. All right, and then the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, folks. Sheesh, he had a really great game here. Took advantage of some turnovers, but overall had a 5-touchdown performance. He goes 35 of 50, folks. 35 of 50, 70% completion percentage, 406 yards, 5 touchdowns. See, Mason Rudolph, when you throw the ball 50 times, this is what you should be doing, not whatever the hell you did this week. Jeez. So Patrick Mahomes didn't turn over the ball, looking real gosh dang good. The offense is back. The Chiefs are back. We know. And then the running game, Darrell Williams, 11 carries, 43 yards. Jerick McKinnon, 3 carries, 26 yards. Derek Gore, 6 carries, 19 yards. And who was Patrick Mahomes throwing to? Travis Kelce, 8 receptions, 119 yards. Darrell Williams, 9 catches, 101 yards, a touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 7 receptions, 83 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brian Pringle, 4 catches, 46 yards, a touchdown. Mecole Hardman, 2 catches, 27 yards. Demarcus Robinson, 3 catches, 23 yards. And Marcus Kemp, 1 catch, 16 yards. So overall, this game was pretty close going into halftime. It was only 17-7. They Raiders go down on their first drive of out of halftime, make it 17-14. Chiefs go up 24-14, and then we get the Deshaun Jackson fumble that really could have made it 1 possession again, and then we get the Derek Carr fumble because now you're trying to make up a little bit of time in the fumble and all that. So I'm not ready to write off this Raiders team. I'm gonna give them 1 more week before we make our next diagnosis on what this Raiders team is all about. This week the Raiders face the Bengals at home, so a nice opponent to really kind of get their confidence back at. Then we'll see if they take advantage of the Bengals coming off of the bye or whatever it is. So Chiefs get the win here, 41-14. Patrick Mahomes is back. Deshaun Jackson, first and only pass is a fumble. Unfortunate. Alrighty. All right, folks, we went super late today, but we are out of here. We're back live tomorrow, noon Eastern. Reordering our power rankings, talking about Monday Night Football, breaking down our NBA Daily 10, and shouting out the tight end performances. Did we have a better performance of these tight ends this week than we did the last 2 weeks? We better hope so, or I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it hell on these tight ends this week. So we're back tomorrow live noon Eastern, folks. We will.